The main area of my research deals with the development of new materials, new photovoltaic structures.
You are directly linked with renewable sources of energy, then?
Yes, it's been like a love affair for me. My link to this dates back to the beginning of my studies. I dealt a lot with solar energy issues, both during my PhD as well as afterwards. I worked on the development of new materials which, when used in the photovoltaic cells of the future, could potentially solve the energy problem. This field was particularly developed around 1981 because of the oil crisis then. It was left aside in the years that followed, making us as it were, lonely riders as we kept on researching even then. Nowadays, however, more than ever, this field has regained its popularity. What does a photovoltaic do? Well, a photovoltaic cell concentrates the sun's radiation and converts it to electrical energy. Up until today, the yield of these cells was very low as 5, 10, 15%. This means that only 15% of the sun's radiation is actually converted to electricity. Our aim, therefore, is to develop such systems either with greater efficiency or with the same efficiency but less expensive. In the lab, not only are we developing such systems, but we're also trying to find ways to make the manufacturing of such systems cheaper. In the framework of this research, we then have recently developed a device called micro-PNPR. It's a device, micro-refractory thermal processing, micro-PNPR as we said, which uses a laser beam that's passed through a large microscope. In order to be able to do this, we had to make modifications to the microscope's internal structures in order to be able to pass the two separate laser beams through the microscope. So what do? We place the photovoltaic material under the microscope and shine two laser beams on it, one red and one green. The green laser beam excites the cell. The red beam is the one which reads this excitement. Through then this mathematical analysis and, if you like, a process involving mathematical equations, we're able to analyze all the physical, chemical, optical and thermal properties of the material under study. One might wonder what the advantage of being able to study these properties in microscale using light instead of electric currents is. Obviously, this can be done through electrical measurements as well, but when using electrical currents, the researcher must insert contacts for electricity to flow. This takes time to do and might also destroy the material under study. An industrial unit producing millions of these cells needs to apply the procedure in fragments of a second. Using light, therefore, makes it quicker to qualify large numbers of products which hopefully will be marketed in a few months' time. And we'll discuss these new technologies in the next few months. I believe that this is the first time that two very well-known phenomena are combined and used in one material, the novelty being that no one has thought of combining these two together before. In our labs, we try to develop a new kind of photovoltaic cell. Now, what are these phenomena? One is the photovoltaic, a widely known phenomenon in the form we know it today. It was discovered by Einstein And he also received the Nobel Prize for it. The other phenomenon, the other element, has to do with pyroelectricity. Our idea was to combine a photovoltaic material with a pyroelectric one. Now, you may wonder what the logic behind this is. Well, it's common knowledge that in the summer, when the temperature is high, the efficiency of the photovoltaic array falls. Now, could there be a way to make high temperatures an ally of the photovoltaic phenomenon? Well, we believe that indeed we can. And this would be achieved through the use of a pyroelectric cell in combination with the photovoltaic cell. Now, this would amplify the phenomenon at high temperatures. We're developing this material now. Preliminary studies and experiments on the material currently under study are very encouraging, and I believe that in a couple of years we'll be able to create a new generation of photovoltaic cells on a totally new basis. In my spare time, I get to do lots of things. I enjoy the mountains very much. Not long ago, wanting to strengthen my bonds with nature, and because my home village of Labithos is still under occupation, I bought an orchard in the mountains. In addition to the existing trees, I planted another 120, and I visited very often to water and attend to it. Everything associated with work in the orchard. It's something which I find very uplifting. Why? Because I believe that nothing beats the smells you get in the mountains. My son plays football in the club of our home village, and I like to go and watch him as often as I can. I also enjoy writing, and I'm currently writing a novel about Labithos, my home village, and my life there, or life in general there as it used to be, hoping to be able to publish it after the end of my term as the university's vice-rector.